Hey, hello to my friends and Pega partners from all over the world. Welcome to this state and local government edition of the Pega Partner Hour, a monthly webinar that provides Pega partners with support in the sales, technical, and industry domains. As a reminder, and as always, we'll be recording this session. If you prefer not to be recorded, please feel free to drop from the call, and you're welcome to watch the recording at another time. Speaking of the recordings, the catalog of past Pega Partner Hours can now be found in two places: on the events and webinars page on the partner portal at partners.pega.com and on the Pega Partner Hour YouTube channel. So if you've missed any of those, please take a moment, feel free to check them out. All right, listen, let's jump right in. We've got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. The SLG edition. Today we have the government heavy hitters team. I can't believe, frankly, that we were able to pull all of you guys together on one call at the same time. So a little introductions. Here they are. Mr. Doug Averill, Pega's Vice President and Global Industry Market Lead for the government. Shannon Archer. Shannon is Pega's Strategic Director of State and Local. And Hazel Robbins, Pega's Principal Solutions Consultant for the State and Local Government Division. And now, up first, I give you Mr. Doug Averill.
Randy, you are always the best. Very much appreciate the time here. So as you're bringing up the deck and sliding, I'm not sure that everyone knows, but my heritage prior to Pega for a decade was running finance around labor and the administrative side of health and human services and Medicaid and things like that in one of the US states. So I am all about the states. This is my passion. This is where actual service delivery and where real stuff happens. This is where things are highly repeatable. And frankly, this is where the hard work happens of actually having to help people as they are doing stuff. So as you are clicking through here, Randy, I want to walk through some of the stuff that if you've been around a bit with Pega, you probably already know, but is really important as we dig in to what is it that is our approach, Pega's approach in state and local, because frankly, it's not been crystal clear over the past few years what we're trying to do here, yet there's been a consistent through line into it. So Randy, I don't know if you've got,
I have it.
You can click through, that's perfect. So there's as those of us in the state market know, is very distinct from the federal and defense and intelligence. It's where the money flows from Washington into the state capitals. It's where service delivery happens. It's where citizen engagement happens. And therefore, it is much more about really interacting with people and getting them the services they need, making that efficient, making it interactive. And how do we do that? As you would imagine, you think across, it's all 50 states plus the territories. But I'm going to acknowledge up front that each one of the states, while highly repeatable, is repeatable within those programs. So as we know, there's niche programs that happen within child welfare, or how are managing transportation, or how a particular state is doing professional licensing and things like that. There's deep domain expertise that exists. And to show up credibly as Pega, we have to make sure that we are speaking empathetically to those people, that where we really understand their business. So in order to do that, in order to really win with partners in states and to build out this business and the state and local practice to be what it needs to be and what it can be, there's a couple things that we do. And the first is we are committed to strategic partner alignment. This is where you can't just rock up and say, hey, we can use Pega to do this. You have to show very distinctly the use cases. We have to show them how it's going to make things better. And we have to do this with a partner who has deep domain expertise. It requires someone to walk through the organizational change management, to look at what the current policies are, and even work with the agency to help them shape some of the policies that are coming, to make sure they're as supportive of workflow automation and engagement as possible. We're very much about relationship-driven engagement. So we need to make sure that it's always, many parties in the box here. It's the power of three, where we are showing up again with that point of view, but also making sure that we're joint planning and we are working around a program to modernize it together. This does not look like responding to RFPs. This is not about bringing people in at the last minute. This is helping understand what's going on in a particular state, engaging and shaping those things together. The other one here in the middle box here where it says nationwide reach, local impact, this is really important because for a number of years, right around sort of the beginning of the pandemic, even a little before that, Pega had very much sort of a focused set of states that we were pursuing and that we were supporting and partnering with. And this has very much changed. This is where we're opening up to all 50 states and territories. This is where we're looking to where we can do something once and then know we can build on it multiple times. This is where we're not going to go after every program, but we're going to go after the things that are, really going to hit Pega's sweet spot. It's going to be about complicated workflow automation, eligibility, customer and citizen engagement, where we're going to be able to work across multiple channels, and we're going to be able to drive real efficiency and improvement to states' budgets and bottom lines. So this is where we want to make sure that when we see a program, say licensing, eligibility determination, any of those sorts of things, that we're going in proactively with a real differentiated approach. This is where you can win better with Pega because we've got amazing things, amazing tools. We've got the latest and greatest with Blueprint and other things. And this is where we're going to, whatever we build together is going to be highly repeatable. And what does that mean to you? It means that when we've won and delivered, we're already, once we're assured of client success, of course, going to be looking to other places where we can repeat that success together. And then, where it says expanded sales presence in the state and local government hubs, this is where we're bringing a very much a in-person, in the office, in the field, no more dialing it in presence. This is where we're often working with government relations firms to understand what's going on, to make sure that we're adequately messaging some of the differentiated advantages that Pega brings and some of the amazing outcomes. And we're doing it in market. We're not going to be everywhere all the time, but we are very focused on being in market together and being seen together. And next slide, Randy. So, when we look at what are the things that we're bringing to market, it really is mind-blowing in my view. I've been here 10 years now, and when we think about where we started in version 6.2 when I joined Pega to where we are now with Blueprint, it's nowhere close to the same. So we've gone, I'm sure you've all seen the main stage presentation that Karim gave at Pega World, but we've gone from being able to prompt new applications to we can actually upload walkthrough video captures of how a green screen application works, even say a .NET application works. You can record that, upload it to Blueprint. You have a completely modernized application. One of the things I've been doing recently is taking Office of the Inspector General reports or single audit reports for states and uploading some of those findings and ask for remediated solutions. Great use of Blueprint. I mean, my point in this is the technology is moving every single month now. It's not every quarter and every year, it's every month, and new stuff is coming. So this is really the time to be digging in with the state and local business, to be looking at what are those repeatable opportunities and proactively engaging. We want to have all of those conversations. We want to be planning deeply and figuring out where we can win together. So the tool specifically, FedRAMP, as many of you've seen, we've got our generative AI tools. We've got almost all of our products now in Pega Cloud for Government, which is running at FedRAMP High. We have a robust roadmap coming that will include Blueprint for Government, as well as a number of the things that are coming in version 25.2 for later this year, early next year as part of the annual audit. So fully dedicated to making sure that we are hitting all of the high points and checking all the boxes on government cloud compliance and security. The other really big one here in the next box over, a personal passion project of mine is the AWS strategic relationship. I am all in on this. I think this is going to be and continue to be huge for the market generally. this is where all of the tools and the relationships and the support that our AWS colleagues bring to bear are just going to accelerate the conversations that we're jointly having in market together. There are usually 10 to 12 times as many AWS people in the market as there are Pega people, and their reach is pervasive. And we've not even begun to talk about some of the marketplace procurement possibilities that are out there, as most states have Amazon Marketplace commits that are available as another procurement channel. So a lot of stuff going on with that. And then finally, this is sort of the key to all of this stuff, in my view, is really making sure that we're delivering those outcomes. I look across the globe for Pega government, and our growth is 100% dependent, as it should be, on client health and delivering those outcomes that we've made promises to deliver. So at the end of the day, this is part of our partnership and our collaboration in early days, is making sure we have a joint point of view on client success. So we're never selling shelfware, and we're actually getting those state governments what it is that they need. It's all about designing something that's going to work and deploying it, and really relying on the partner expertise around both subject matter expertise to implement it, as well as the organizational change management to make sure it is well adopted. So I will wrap, Randy, and thank you as always for the time. I'm going to be sticking around to support and chime in as you guys will let me. But I'm very, very excited about sort of the new energy around our state and local business and the investments we're continuing to make into this. So thank you for having me.
Doug, thank you very much. Always great to have a person of your caliber come in and
Killing me.
tell us what you
Killing me.
see. No, hey, all joking aside, man, nobody is better than you. I really appreciate you showing up, Doug, and the support you give to this episode, but certainly state and local and the government is beyond reproach, man. Thank you very much. All right, next up, my friend Shannon Archer. Shannon, why don't we talk a little bit about state, local government and how you figure into it and how we can help folks do a little bit more business with you?
There's nothing that I would love more, Randy, than to talk about state and local government. Excited to be here and really excited to be part of this team. It's an exciting time in state and local government. We're starting to see a lot of change, and with AI, government agencies are trying to figure out what is their policy on AI, and that's the conversations that we're having in the field right now. Blueprint has been a fantastic tool for us to engage at the agency level and help them understand how Pega can play a big part in how they're going to transform the way they're doing business within their agency. And so what I really want to talk about are the use cases that we're focused on in state and local. As Doug mentioned, we're really looking at repeatable solutions that we can take from one state and then duplicate that among many other states. And that goes down to the locality level as well. We'll start with digital licensing and permitting. And this pertains not to just state government, where you'll see professional regulation licensing utilized within our platform, but also at the local level. Cities and counties are looking at ways they can modernize their licensing and permitting and inspection solutions. And we have done a lot of work in this area and are really excited about how we can help transform their manual processes into Pega platform and really improve the way the citizens are engaging with the agency and feel like they have a way to really get their permits done in a timely fashion, whether it be that they're building a new home. They talked a lot about at the local level food trucks and closing down streets for parties, and there's so many different ways that licenses are used, and we have the ability to come in and modernize the way that they're managing that process today. The next use case is benefits administration and case management. And this is a little bit more robust when it comes to, next slide, Randy, when it comes to how they're doing things today. And we can approach this in many different ways, whether it's the eligibility determination, which is calculating the income and the household and how the children are receiving benefits, all the way down to how the agent is interacting with the citizens that are calling in for services. Right now, state agencies are overwhelmed with the number of individuals that they're looking to support. And so how can we come in and help improve that experience? And so the conversations that we've been having around this is, how can we meet them where they're at? Generally speaking, people don't love the idea of making a phone call. They want to be able to go online, fill out an application, chat, text, potentially email. And these are things that we can implement for them and also create the experience where when someone does call in, if they filled out an application online, the agent that receives the call knows that they've filled out the application and can start with them where they left off. And so we're seeing a big push in modernizing the way that these agencies are working with their citizens, their communities, and we're really excited about the traction that we're getting. And this is where we would love for you as our partners to come to us and say, hey, how can we work together on this? Let's go to the agency together. Let's talk about how they're doing things today and how they can modernize. And honestly, Blueprint, I know we talk all about Blueprint, but it is the tool that is making this exciting and opening up the minds of the agencies to see how they can really modernize with Pega. Unified citizen experience is another one that we're really starting to see more traction and activity. This is a big picture solution, and it's where they're trying to come up with ways where they can create a portal for the citizens and cover multiple agencies. And so these are usually managed more at the state level. And so that would be, and sorry, Randy, next slide. It would be if they're looking to do a portal for the citizens, and it would provide information about their driver's license. If they are applying for Medicaid, child support, registering their vehicles, registering their business licenses. How can we create a platform and an experience for the citizens where they're getting a seamless service across all of the agencies? And so as states are trying to figure out how they can provide a higher level of service, and this comes down to so much that some states are doing surveys to better understand how can they meet the citizens where they are, and the citizens expect to be able to interact at the state level in the same way that they would when they call into American Express or into Delta, and they automatically know why they're calling and what they're trying to accomplish. And so we're starting to see an uptick in interest at the state level to really improve the way that they're working with their people. And then the last one is workforce services modernization. And keep in mind, these are our 4 focus areas. That being said, obviously there are many, many use cases that we can look to solve. These are ones that we're just seeing the most interest right now at the state and local level. So workforce modernization specifically is around how can we help the people that work for the agencies adapt to the always changing policies within state and local government. How do we get them enabled quickly? How do we help them provide the correct answers at the correct time? And we're able to do this with Pega Customer Service using some of our AI features like Knowledge Buddy and Coach, where we're guiding them through the conversations and the interactions with their citizens, their residents, their constituents, so that they're able to seamlessly provide them the information that they need when they need it in an efficient and timely manner. Pega Customer Service has so much to offer from that standpoint. We're integrating with contact centers. We're able to overlay and really make them significantly more efficient. And overall, I would say this is an area where, regardless of what agency you're working with, they're all trying to figure out how they can be better when it comes to providing this improved experience for workforce services. So that's what I have for you all today. I am always available to have a conversation and talk more about where you're engaged in state and local government and find a way so that we can work together. And now I will turn it over to Hazel.
Well, Shannon, before we do that, we've got a question that came in and it's something that I wanted to actually talk with you about, right? I think maybe we talk for just a minute about how teams at our partners with state and local teams or state and local aspirations, how they engage with us. And I always tell my partners, like, listen, if you think calling an AE and saying, what are you working on? Do you have a deal you can let us, deploy and implement? It's the wrong strategy, right? The strategy for me, and maybe tell me I'm wrong, you're doing it every day, right? Those who can do, those who can't. But I think the better idea is to sit down in your team and say, where are we strong with people? Who do we know at the state of New Hampshire? That's where I'm from. Who are we gonna talk to? And then sit down and say, Shannon, who do you know? This is who we know. And where that Venn diagram lies over each other, you can sit down and go, wow, I know that person, you know that person. Now let's go see that person. Let's find out what problems they have. Let's open up our phone and do a blueprint on our phone and say, this is what your solution would look like in real time. And that's how we're going to find business. Tell me I'm wrong.
You know what we call that, Randy? We call that account mapping. And we would
Yeah.
love nothing more than to work with our partners on looking at the relationships that they have, better understanding where they're engaged and how we can work together and have an engagement strategy. We have invested in lobbyists in certain areas. Doug talked about the relationship that we have with AWS, which is unbelievably powerful, and we should 100% be leveraging that partnership and working closely with them to understand how we can be more closely aligned with the work that they're doing in the field, but also getting us engaged at the field level. So reach out to myself, submit a lead if you have a relationship that you think is worth pursuing, and we will have a meeting, we'll sit down, we'll talk about what that relationship and that engagement strategy is, and we'll go to work and we'll get in the field with you to do whatever we can to win the business.
Perfect. And so Shannon, on that same theme, we got a question from April. She's asking, what are the specific states that Pega provides coverage as far as proactive and reactive modernization efforts are concerned? Many state modernization efforts, many states have their low code platform of choice and pre-existing agreements with platform providers. It would help to know the list of states where you focus and have pre-existing licensing agreements so we can focus on those specific states and areas.
Okay, so we have kind of our key premier states that we've been working on, which are New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Florida, Texas, and California. And then we also have existing contracts with Maine, Vermont, Montana, Utah. I think that's North Carolina. So that's where we have existing contracts today. As far as the states that we're focused on, we truly are focused on expanding this team as quickly as we can. And so if you have a relationship as a partner, we would love to engage with any state. And when it comes to contracts, we are on the NASPO contract. So we can work with any state that's on that cooperative contract, which generally speaking is the majority of the states. And so we can resell through SHI, Insight, IMIX. So we have the ability to really work with the majority of the states.
Hey, Shannon, can I just add one thing to that too? Is remember, as AWS Marketplace is really across most of our states, that becomes yet another procurement channel. So we're decreasingly limited by where we are on existing panels versus not, because that becomes an entirely new way to actually procure.
100%. And I also should mention when it comes to the AWS partnership, I actually met with them yesterday and tried to better understand, what is the compelling reason for the AWS sellers to work with us? And anything that is sold on Pega, they're able to retire quota. So this is 100% impacting their bottom line and their checkbook when they are working with us. So we have this strong alignment with them, and now we just need to go out and work with them and find opportunities where Pega, AWS, and our partners are able to win business in state and local.
Great. Well, so Shannon, we have a number of AEs across the country covering a number of states across the countries. I think probably the best way is if you're on this call and you're a partner and you want to work with the state and local team and you don't know, drop Shannon a line, drop me a line. I'm more than happy to introduce you to the folks that you need to be introduced to. All right. So that's what I had for that. So next we move on.
Thanks, Randy.
You're welcome, Shannon. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Hazel Robbins, who's on mute before you get going, Hazel. Hazel is, as we said earlier, our principal solutions consultant in the SLG division. Hazel, thank you for coming on. Welcome.
Thanks, Randy. I'm so excited. You had some great speakers on this. I'm including myself on that. Great speakers. I think we have the next slide for myself. All right, perfect. Hey guys, good morning. First, I want to start my session with a question. Actually, what if I told you that starting today, you have direct access to the Pega State and Local Solution Consulting Team, who I belong to, whenever you need us? I hear a lot of yay, cheers. Woo. Okay, not just for sales support, but also for, let's say, delivery challenges, inquiries, any technical architecture guidance that you might need, or when you were talking to Doug and Shannon earlier, for any opportunity shaping or solutioning. Well, that's exactly why I'm here today. That's what we're announcing today, is to give you that support. But before we get started, I want to introduce the team. Randy, to the next slide. We are the SLG, so local, state and local government SC team, and we span coast to coast, starting with my manager, Lawrence, is based out of Green Mountain State. So pop quiz, if you guys are seeing the colorful state names, if you can name where those are, great, good for you. I'll meet you in person. I'll give you a Pega swag item. But Lawrence is an East Coast, Vermont side. Mike is East Coast as well, New York. Mark Howard out of Florida. Jeff is in Idaho, Ambika, California side, and I'm from the great state of Texas. So we're going to be here as your dedicated partners. We understand the challenges in state and local government implementations, and we're ready to support you guys. To the next slide, Randy. Let's talk about the supportability that we will be providing. As I was brainstorming this with my manager, Lawrence, we started talking about, hey, what really is the key to having great partnership with our partners? It's never necessarily just the technology, right? Pega is great, but most of the time it's all about having that right support at the right time. And this is why we came up with this 3 very game-changing initiative designed specifically for you guys, for our SLG partners. So very first off, the partner impact hours. I'm personally very excited with this. It'll give us one-on-one time. Think of the partner impact hours as your direct access to me or to someone from my team. It will be a dedicated topic. We'll go through more of what we have to offer on this impact hour, but really it's all about navigating through a complex implementation. If you have any question about new capabilities that we might have, solutioning, the go-to-market solution, you can now book a dedicated time with us. And then there's the SLG loop. So SLG loop is all about, it's your pipeline to curated insights. If there's any partner app updates or any exclusive content that you can benefit from, as opposed to you Googling or using AI to find these assets, the SLG loop will have all this centralized as a resource for you. And then very next is the Govies only, make it sound really exclusive for you guys. So think of this as it's not just a user group, really. It's a place for the technical minds like us. We can ask questions, advance solutioning together, all focusing in government-focused topics. But that is coming up. So in the very bottom of the screen, I know Randy will send it later on too. There's going to be the MS booking link that we'll be sending out on the chat item. And then we'll have a QR code later towards the very end of my slide as well, so you can access this. Oh, thank you, John. I see that. That's been forwarded there. So yeah, bookmark that so you can spend some time with us and go through some of the impact hours topics that we have.
And
Speaking of impact,
Hazel, real
yeah,
quick,
go ahead.
thanks. In the future, as we record these and post these, if you need that link, we'll also, if you're watching this now, we'll put it in the comment section on the places that we posted on the Pega Partner portal and YouTube.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So next slide, let's dig in deeper as to what this impact hour is all about. I know you guys are excited. I can feel it. I know I can't see your faces. I can hear the cheers. All right. So for impact hours, there's 4 different categories that you can have this conversation with us. I think 3 of them are a 45-minute session. 2 of those are advisory session for Pega platform and focusing on Pega customer service. And then there's the go-to-market support, and then there's a very focused 30-minute technical assistance as well. What you'll expect on these sessions, you can ask us obviously live questions because we'll be on the phone with you. We'll be doing WebEx. If you have any questions about best practices, maybe there's sometimes we'll pull in a speaker. Shannon works a lot on the field too. We'll get her ideas if she's available. Personalized technical guidance if you have any inquiries about what you're currently working on right now, and the opportunity shaping, so all about solutioning as well. But some of the guidance that we have as well when we were thinking about this is, hey, what if a partner books a 45-minute session and we both get on there? Do we just go, well, no, what do we chat about? I want to get to know you. I love llamas, you love llamas. We can use our time that way. Or we suggest that maybe come in with an agenda. Limit the attendees. If you have a very specific topic, limit the attendees that you have so you're not using up a lot of time with 30 people asking questions, right? Respect the time box. If it's allotted to 45 minutes or 30 minutes, that's probably what we had booked on our SC calendar as well. Might have a meeting before or after that. And just be ready to collaborate with us. We'll do the solutioning together. We'll ask each other questions and help you with any roadblock that you have. But to end this slide that I have, I do want to share that this is not us trying to replace your delivery services. This is us truly wanting to help you accelerate your success with some of the opportunities that you're currently working on. And that's it. That's all I have for that slide. I'm Randy. I know we'll probably have some questions later on. Blueprint. I know you've heard Doug and Shannon talk about blueprinting. The main question of the day is, have you blueprinted yet? Have you accessed Pega Blueprint? Have you played around with it? I hope that out of all our registrant today, majority of, I should have added a poll here. Next time, Randy, we'll add a poll where they can like answer yes or no in the webinar so we can find out how many people have done it. But yeah, it's a good one that we can do, right, for our partners. All right, for our next slide, I hope that you've done it because there's really 3 main benefits for you as our partners on why you should start blueprinting. All right, the first one is transforming client discovery. So for those of you who have played with it, you know that when you're doing your discovery sessions with the clients, you're getting all the information from them as to what do they want in this workflow, what's the business process that they have, what are the business requirements, or even the assets that they have. You can just plug that into Blueprint and you'll come up with a visual workflow that you can later on import into Pega, but it's something that you can show off to the client as a live technical solution that you can propose to them. For those of you that have not used Blueprint yet, it will be a good solution in terms of, as opposed to you writing down your discovery notes into your notepad or spreadsheet or a Visio diagram. You can just start plugging in your business requirements or discovery notes into the Blueprint, or even assets, for you to have a real asset to really showcase to the client where they can see your workflow, the personas, or even a PDF file that you can start discussing their business requirements to them. And then secondly, converts interest into actions through Preview My App. So again, for those of you who had played with Blueprint, you know on that very last step on Blueprint, once you hit submit, there's a button in the very bottom of that that says Preview My App. So when you select Preview My App, you will get to see what that application will look like in Pega. So you're not having to guess going, I don't actually know if that button works, or I don't know what this intake form will look like, or I don't know what the chatbot will look like. Right there on the same screen while you're creating the blueprint, you will get to see an interactive and very visualized success of the solution that you had just created. Okay. And on the third advantage as well is having the deliver functionality faster, meaning again, if you're on site, you probably had collected assets. You collected some sort of documentation from the client, and now you have this blueprint. You've downloaded it, you have a PDF. What you can do with that file then is go into your Pega, live Pega environment and import the blueprint file, and you can get to see what these assets or what this workflow will look like in a live Pega environment. So some exciting things that you can now do with Pega Blueprint. It's also constantly changing. It's constantly upgrading. I was just on site with Shannon earlier this week out of Maine, and we were discovering some new functionalities with Blueprint. And we're like, oh, that's really cool. It's now summarizing the assets for you, so you're not having to summarize and type it out. So
You
highly
know,
recommend start blueprinting. Go ahead, Randy.
Hazel, I wanted to jump in and add in on that because, I get some feedback from people who are maybe blueprinted out. And then I always say to them, why are you blueprinted out? Like, what's the downside to the blueprint? And they say, well, I do them once in a while. When I'm watching TV, I'll do one. And I think the bigger question now is not so much just have done a blueprint. Have you done a blueprint with and for a prospect? And let them see what happens. And I've been in meetings where people do that. I've been in meetings where Aaron Passy takes that RFP and drops it into Blueprint, and it comes up and it fills out the whole thing. And people's eyes light up. And one of the quotes in the meeting, particularly with Aaron's that we were in, where he said, the customer said, we've been working on this for 3 months, this RFP. And that did more in 5 minutes than we could do in 3 months. And that's the power. That's when people go, oh my God, that's what Pega does. That's how it can work. Can you change this and that? And you change it real quickly in the prompts and you add a persona or you take a persona out. That's my challenge to people. Don't just do a blueprint. Do it with a prospect. Show them tell them, have them tell you what their problem is, and then put it in and show them what we can do. And that's where you see some real strength in Blueprint.
That's actually a really good point, Randy, because when we were on site, it's a very new like field experience. When I was creating one with a client, it's about a specific use case, and she typed it up, and I said, okay, why don't you preview the app and let's see what it looks like. And she goes, you know what? I feel like we should maybe adding this specific rule to it. We shouldn't just be approving any amount. Maybe we should limit it to this. And what we did then is a discovery session live with a blueprint, because we started modifying the business requirement and started asking our blueprint, hey, can you regenerate the workflow based on the wording that we just added? So to our partners now, you can certainly utilize this as a discovery session tool as well. So you can start asking your client, okay, what did you mean by that? Can you elaborate on that? So that you can get the blueprint as close as you can to the solution or application that they had in mind. So that's a good one there, just to increase your interaction time with them and get more data out of your clients and opportunities. All right. Take advantage of Blueprint. Next slide there. All right, another exciting gift that I come bearing for you today is the state and local solution finder that you can find at pega.com/solution finder. This will really help you uncover use cases across permitting, licensing, benefits, and delivery. It's literally like having a roadmap to revenue stream. So if you're looking for relevant use cases, you want to maybe match agency pain points or explore new solution patterns, you can go into this website now, and it's a very self-guided experience, and you'll get to find some of the items that you're looking for that is very focused on state and local government. And last slide there, Randy. I know I've been talking. I know we've got some people that are really excited. So 3 things that I want you to remember that Hazel presented you today is, 1, you can now start booking the impact hours to have these conversations with us if you have any inquiries or if you need some guidance. Randy had sent over that link. Secondly, join the SLG group if you want to be connected and stay connected with the state and local insights. And more information, you can just scan the QR code that you have on your screen now. And third, the most important part of things is start blueprinting. Start blueprinting with your clients. It's free to use. It's a good way to get discovery sessions done with the opportunities that you have. And that's all I have. Thank you for listening in to my session today. Ready? I'll pass the mic over to you if there's any questions.
Look, so we've got, could you help put the link for the Partner Impact Office hours here in the chat, which then John did. So we've got that, and we are caught up on questions. Hazel, great job. Only once did we have a Pega Partner Hour where somebody introduced something literally brand new, and that was Karim. So now I've got Karim and Hazel making worldwide introductions on the show. So I can't tell you how much I thank you for coming on and doing that. And listen, that's great stuff. The truth of the matter is we get calls all the time from people who are wondering, where can they get help? You know, where can they get a specific question answered? And I think this is really really going to do that for us. All right. Well, it looks like, and I could be wrong about this, unless we've got any last minute questions, which I do not see. Hold this up here, drop this down and bring us back up. It brings us now to the end of another Pega Partner Hour. See, when we come back. All right. Sorry about the delay here. Sometimes I'm moving things around. I can't even see. All right. Yeah, that brings us to the end of another Pega Partner Hour. Thank you to everybody who has shown up month to month, especially John Lynch. And of course, today, Doug, Shannon, and Hazel, thank you for an unbelievable job on this state and local government edition. Sometimes I think you guys don't get enough of the credit for the work you're doing. And if you're not working with this team, should be. And if you are, you already know how great they are. So that's that for today. We'll see you next, I think, second Friday, September 12th. And as always, if you see us before we see you, please stop us and say hello. Until then, sell and be well. Thanks for joining. We look forward to seeing you again.